Welcome back, everyone. In this video, we will dive into one of the core building blocks of object-oriented programming, that is, classes. By the end, you'll understand what classes are, why they matter, and how to write your very own in C#. Imagine an online sign-up form template with fields like username, email, date of birth, etc. Each time someone fills in that form, you get a new user object, all based on the same template. In C#, that template is called a class. Definition of a class. A class is a custom data type that groups related data, like fields or properties and behaviors, that is, methods, into a single unit. You use classes to model real-world entities in your code, making programs easier to design, read, and maintain. Let's try to create our own class in C#. Here I am creating a class named MyFirstClass. In this class, I am declaring a variable called MyFirstInstanceVariable. This is the simplest class declaration. Here, I've declared a class named MyFirstClass that contains an instance variable named MyFirstInstanceVariable. I call this an instance variable because it can only be accessed through an instance of the class MyFirstClass. We will look what is an instance of the class shortly. Notice that I've used the public keyword when declaring the class. Also, observe the keyword public before MyFirstInstanceVariable. We will learn more about access modifiers, like the public keyword, later in the course. For now, just know that marking the class and its instance variable as public makes them accessible from outside the class. Now watch closely as I create a variable of type MyFirstClass and name it MyVariable. This means we've successfully defined our own data type called MyFirstClass. Because it's a class, it's a reference type. We covered reference types in our Data Types in C# Part 3 video. Now here's the interesting part. We're going to create an object of the MyFirstClass. To do this, we use C#'s new keyword followed by the class name MyFirstClass in this case. Now I will access the instance variable of MyFirstClass and assign it a value 10. Now I will output the instance variable's value to the console. When I run the program, you'll see the value printed. Let's do a quick recap now. First, we declare a class using C#'s class keyword. Then, we declare an instance variable inside a class, and it can only be accessed through an instance or object of that class. To access any member of a class, you first create an object of that class using C#'s new keyword. Finally, to access a class's instance variable, we use the object's reference variable and perform operations on it. Think of classes as blueprints for objects, just like an online form template defines the structure and fields for each submission. In the next video, we'll dive deeper into classes and objects, exploring their details and everything you can do inside a class.